And now we are going to make our wine tag. So hang on one second. Okay, so let me bring in my supplies. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is bring in my scoreboard. And I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to score it at 2.5. So this piece is 8.5 by 2.5 and I'm going to score it at 2.5, and that's going to make the top of this wine bottle tag. So then you can see it folds nicely. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a 1.5 inch circle punch, and I want to punch right in the middle of this square. But I'm not sure where that center is, so here's my little tip for you. Take a scrap piece of paper and punch a 1.5 inch circle, and then we're going to nail that on right in the center of that square, right where we want to punch our hole. Now we bring in our punch and we know exactly where we want to punch. Okay, get rid of that little bit of extra. So that's all done. So now I have a piece of designer series paper, a piece of Whisper White. I have a couple of scraps that I'm going to stamp my daisy on. So let's stamp that daisy right now. So there's my daisy stamp, and I'm going to bring in, this is powder pink. Ink it up. Okay, one done. There you go. What I like about this daisy stamp is you can use a lot of scraps. I mean, you can always fit. It just seems, it's like my little game that I play, if I can fit another stamp on that little scrap, and it always works. You just kind of angle it a little bit differently. So now what we're going to do, let's bring in our daisy punch, and we have to line it up. I'm going to put it down and punch because it's kind of hard to punch holding it up in the air. There's one. Looks like the punch is eating my paper here. Okay, now we'll bring in the piece of powder pink and move it around so it's lined up. Okay. Now I want to tag, put a banner end on each of these. So I'm going to bring on all three of these actually. So I'm going to bring in my triple banner punch. And if you recall, I don't know if you watched me last week, but this has measurements in here so you can slide different size papers in here. It's got 2 inch, 1 3/4, 1 inch, and you can even use it for 1/2 inch and larger, which I'm going to show you in 1 second. So here is my piece of designer series paper. I'm going to slide that in. It fits perfectly, so I am pushing it all the way in. All the way in. It fits right in the groove, so I know it's centered. And I'm going to give that a punch. So now I have that one done. And then here is a piece of, actually, you know what? I want this to be 1 inch. So I have to cut that down real quick. So hang on. All right. So now I have a 1-inch piece of Whisper White. Put that into our banner punch, push it all the way into the end, and there's our next one. Okay, now this one is 2.5 inches, and this punch is made for 2 inches, but I'm going to make it work, I hope. Okay, so again, I am putting it in. I'm going to make sure it's kind of even by looking at the lines and where it's centered, and I'm going to give it a punch. Okay, now I have these little tiny ends that showed up, but that's no problem. Just take those off. Whoops. Okay, now going to figure out where I want this one to go. See, I made this one too long, but it's about 6 inches is what it's supposed to be. But the daisy is going to cover it, so I just folded it down and I'm going to trim it. So that one's going to go like that, and this one's going to go like this. But first I need to stamp thank you on there. So let me bring in my thank you stamp. Let me clean it off. And I'm going to bring in Tranquil Tide. And I'm going to move all this because if I drop my stamp, I don't want to make a mess. So, bring that piece of Whisper White in. And again, this is Tranquil Tide. Very pretty color of green, or a green blue. I'm going to stamp it near the end of that banner. Okay, and then we're just going to put this together. Let me get all this out of the way. Gotta make sure that shows right there so you guys know where to find me. Alright, so I am going to put a little bit of snail in the center of this flower, and I'm going to put these two flowers together, and you just kind of off-center them. Isn't that pretty? I love this daisy punch. Then I'm going to figure out where I want this one to go. I'm going to snail it. So I want a little bit of that Tranquil Tide to show at the bottom. Center it. And now we put the thank you on. Same thing. Snail it. Line it up at the bottom how you want it to be. You want a little bit of color showing. We're staggering them. Okay. Then I'm going to put on my daisy. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that. So I'm going to put it right up here at the top. Then I am going to bring in, these are gold faceted gems. They come in all these different sizes. They also come in a silver or a clear color. These are clear and these are gold. So I'm going to grab one of these. These are sticky on the back. I'm going to grab this larger one and put it right in the center of my daisy. Okay, and then what I did was I had some of this pretty sequin trim, and I just kind of hung it over my daisy however long I wanted it to be. And now you can, this is probably retired by now, I think it is. This is Bermuda Bay, but they have sequin trim in gold and silver and a black. So you could do this with gold. It would be very pretty. So that is available. And I'm going to bring in a glue dot, and I put a glue dot right on that last sequin so it would not unravel. Whoopsie, that unraveled. I didn't do that very good, did I? Actually, I'm going to show you how I did it the other day. I had this laying here, and I took the glue dot to the sequin. Let me show you what I did. So I took a glue dot off with my little paper snips. I put it on the back of that sequin, and then I put it down on my wine tag. It's kind of fragile until you get it glued in place, as you can see. Okay, so again, I'm going to put it on the back of that little sequin, and there you go, you have it. It's done. Don't go away, I have to tell you something. Hang on. So let's bring in the projects we made. We have the thank you note cards, and I have, oh, you know what? Look at what I forgot. I forgot that pretty gem. Oh, I'm going to put the silver one on that one. Okay, can't forget that. That makes a difference, don't you think? So pretty. So we have the note cards, we have the little gift tags, and then we have the wine bottle tag. Let me bring in a wine bottle, show you how it works. So it just slides right over there like that. There you go. You have a nice little thank you gift. So obviously the theme of today's webinar was thank yous. Lots of thank yous with the Daisy Delight. So let me think. What have I got to tell you here? Celebration's almost over. It'll end March 31st. If you're looking to get some, if you're going to place an order, you might want to get $50 and then you get something free. Also, don't forget, I have project sheets on my blog. So if you want to make this, you can go over there, get these directions, gives you the sizes. You can rewatch this video after it's done tonight. It'll be there. And what else? If you want to place an order, I'm actually extending the time to Sunday at noon, because I know people like to shop on the weekends and they're busy. So if you place an order at my online store and you use the host code, I will send you all the supplies for you to make today's projects. So I send you all this paper and the stamped out little daisies and the little gems, and you put it all together and you have these cute little projects all for yourself. Thank you guys so much. I hope I didn't take up too much time. I was trying to hurry, but I appreciate you guys coming here. If you will share my video, share my posts, I would appreciate it. Leave your comments, and I will see you next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Thank you. Bye.